Ember, 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 we're gonna light up the fire.
Hey guys, welcome to another session of our Ember Sessions. We are so happy to be here. For those who are catching us for the first time, Ember Sessions is really about a time where we come together to share stories and share new songs with new friends. And so today we are going to welcome our awesome couple, Ryan and Steph.
Hello.
We are so happy to be here. Thanks for welcoming us to this beautiful place. This is New Horizon Church.
That's right.
And I can see like the National Stadium is just right across, right?
That's right.
So if anyone's like trying to find their way here, find a National Stadium.
Right, or Decathlon also.
Oh, that's oh my gosh, yeah, I love that place. That's so good to be here. And man, tell me more about yourselves, Ryan and Steph. Ryan.
Okay, hi, my name is Ryan. I play the guitar in the band, and I'm also doing like software. So that's me. I like to play games. I guess.
He does.
So you have a special game name, right?
Oh no lah.
Cannot say on,
no
is
lah,
it?
no lah.
It must be
People
secret.
call me Ryan Sleeper.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's easier to remember, I guess.
You can find him on Steam.
Oh man, that's a cool name.
Oh dear.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And my name is Steph. I am a singer, and also right now I'm studying for my master's in counseling. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. And you guys are part of a band called Hubba, Bubbas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got it right.
I got it right? Do you face a lot of people who get it wrong?
It's
Well.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Tell me more about like your band and your music and what you guys do.
So we're a three-piece band. There's Ryan, myself, and Mervin, who is not here today. And Mervin beatboxes. He plays guitar, I sing. And our music is indie pop.
Wow.
And we've been playing for about 9 years this year. Yeah.
Wow, my gosh, 9 years. That's amazing. So like, wow, man, how did it start when you guys were young?
Yeah, so actually we know each other since secondary school. So from Temasek Sec. And
out.
yeah,
Yay.
we were all from the a cappella group somehow lah. So Mervin and myself, we were the beatboxers, and then Stephanie came in a few years later, and she was the lead singer. So that's where we first got to know one another. Later on, Mervin started busking, and then somebody asked me to play for a wedding. So I was like, okay, the only singer I know is Steph. So I asked her, okay, you wanna do the show? And then after that, as we practiced, and we called Mervin, and then Mervin said, hey, why don't we start busking together? So I don't know if any of you were around a few years ago. We were busking outside Tampines MRT and Marine Parade,
Yeah,
the
Tampines
junction
and Marine
there in
Parade.
front of Parkway, where
Yes.
they sell the chestnuts.
Oh.
Yes. Kaolak.
So that's where we started. And then,
I think what inspired us to start was when we watched YouTube last time, there was this group that redid one of Britney Spears' songs. And I think it was... okay, that's not very descriptive.
Dirty Loops.
Yes, Dirty Loops, you get what I mean. Dirty Loops. So we were really inspired about how they could change a song into something that was so exciting. So that's how we started. Like, hey, can we cover a song and make it like something different, or make it have a different flavor? So that was our main goal at the start. And then throughout the journey, oh man, it's been like ups and downs. Mostly a lot of little mountains to climb.
I think it's really challenging lah. You're right. What really kept us together is because we were all friends, first and foremost lah. We have our share of like disagreements and all that, but I guess being friends, it's one part. Like, I don't want to ruin the relationship. Another part is like, I care for you, and this is a big part. I guess it's like a snowball effect, but then now it's a big part of our lives. We were talking about it at some point. It's like, oh, music is like at least a third of our life, kind of thing. Yeah, it's such a big integral part of who we are. I think doing music in Singapore is not easy. We have like the industry is always in flux, but I also thank God that during that time when we were writing our own music, that was Noise 2014, 2015, 2014.
2014, I think.
Noise 2014, and I think that was around the time of SG50 also. So there was a huge influx of support for local music. There was a huge influx for like the arts, and somehow we also crossed paths with a lot of people that gave us a lot of encouragement, challenged us also, and I guess that's the experiences that make us who we ended up being.
Yeah, I love it because when you guys are sharing this, it feels like music and relationships are so integral. It is. Like part of it's almost like not just something that you do, but it's like the way you live out your life. And it's the way that you feel like the most connected with it as well. That's amazing. And then you guys got to know one another. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was a bonus.
That's a bonus. Oh man, so awesome. So when it comes to songwriting, because you guys obviously write your own songs and all that, how does the process go for you? When you want to write a song, do you think about a moment in life, a conviction? You think about nice melodies. How does it happen? For you guys.
I think a lot of it is life experience. For example, that we have a song, "Can I Sit With You," that was inspired by a time where I was being a very angsty teenager, so I don't want to go home. So I sat at the park, and then I was listening to music by myself in the park. Do not recommend for young girls, but it felt like the singer was with me at that time, and so that kind of inspired the song, hoping to pass on that feeling of being with someone when you can't be with someone, to comfort them. So music for me was a comfort, and I wanted to be a comfort to whoever listens to my song. So that was "Can I Sit." When it came to "Rumble Under My Toes," it was a very difficult song to write, actually, because I felt like, I don't know if anybody is ever going to relate to this. I was a very, very young Christian then, and I felt like I'm not sure if I can trust God. And there were a lot of questions in my head, like, if I trust God and He is actually just, a fairy tale, then would I have wasted my pursuit, wasted my life in that sense? I mean, I was a very young Christian, so I had all these questions, but I'm sure a lot of you can relate to those questions also at the start, where you're not very sure of who God is, but you know Him, you know enough to know that He exists, but who is He as a person? Oh, that's a whole different level of journeying and walking with Him to find that intimacy. So "Rumble Under My Toes" was that journey of learning to let go of the things behind, because in the Bible you see a lot of people, they like Abraham, leave everything. Oh, God called him, we go. Then for me, I was like, huh? Does it mean that I also need to leave everything behind and go? Perhaps not in a material sense, but putting aside all my previous thoughts and previous worldviews, and just trusting God's quiet voice, and just walking and throwing my heart in and waiting for the time where that revelation moment. Yeah.
And this was 6 years ago when
yes,
you first received Christ in your life. Man, was there what was that defining point for you? What was that? The thing that happened that made you say yes.
I think there's not just one point, but God is very gracious. There were many points, really small points actually. So it's not like, wow, the sky parted, the rain came down, I saw Jesus in the sky. It was more of, as I was searching, his mom actually was very cool. She told me before I became a believer, if you want to know who Jesus is, just ask Him. He knows how to reveal Himself to you in a way you can accept and understand. So I was like, oh, you're so confident. Okay, I pray lah. So okay lah, I just prayed that. And throughout the journey, as I kept questioning, as I kept searching, God revealed Himself through His servants. At that time, it was apologetics was very popular as well. So that was one of the avenues that challenged me intellectually also to ask myself, do I not believe the Bible because of what people say? Or have I actually searched for myself whether the Bible is reliable? and things like that. So there was an intellectual level, but there was one moment I remember that that sealed the deal, so to speak. Was I was in my room praying after I watched one of the videos from one apologetic video, and I was like, okay, God, if you're so real, please, just show me who you are. And at that moment, as I prayed, I remember that I was feeling as if I was on a boat. And I was like, in my head, I was asking myself, is this really happening? Like, am I making this up? You know the feeling after you go swimming, and then when you stop, and you still feel like you're floating on water?
Oh,
it was
wow.
similar to that
Okay.
feeling, except that I didn't go swimming. So that shook me. And when I was writing my testimony for baptism, that was when I realized that the first time I encountered God in the scriptures was in Matthew, when he told Peter, hey, you of little faith, why do you doubt? Yeah. And he reached out his hand to him. And that made me tear at a time when I was a non-believer. And I was like, why am I crying? This is so, okay, for lack of a better word, this is so stupid, right? Like, why am I crying reading just this thing? So when I connected the dot, I was like, wow, God, you are damn poetic. Yeah.
And he kind of knew how to speak to your heart,
Correct.
because you're a musician and you see things through like beauty, like imageries and all that. And it also felt like God was so gentle to like bring you through a process. Because it was not like, okay lah, you just say I'm real, like God says that he's real, then I just believe. But you had so many like things that you needed to work through or have answered. And to reach that point, okay, like step out of the boat and come to me. Oh man.
God is good. Like, he is really... Last time I used to think hearing Christians say God is good is very cliche. It's like, y'all only say that because y'all don't know what else to say, right? Okay, sorry. I'm very I know I was a very like offensive non-believer at that time. But now I've come to realize that people say that because it's true.
So I'm on the other side of the story. I grew up in the church. I grew up in this church. And I guess I see many different challenges, like from let's say from Stephanie's point of view, she has this what is real. There's this new thing that I'm not sure of. Whereas I come from a position where I know all the stories, I know all the things, I know all the, I know how to pray and all this. But is it real to me? And I think there was a period of time where I stopped coming to church for a while, and I think throughout that journey, I also, while she was searching, I'm more of a passive guy. I'm very, very passive in searching, but when I saw how she was like trying to figure things out, I guess it also put a question in my heart lah. Like, should I be doing something about it? Should I try and figure it out? I think my own journey with faith is ups and downs. I think I have a lot of emotional rocks lah. I need to get through, but I also believe that I think there were some experiences that really proved that the Holy Spirit can really change a person, and I think that is something that I hold on to for myself.
Like just hearing you guys, it's almost like you guys were like rubbing off each other, like it was like part of your hunger and your search for God, right? That kind of like, hey, hey, it's like,
Bravo.
Yeah, like, and it's also like your own like foundation and grounding, like through the years of being a Christian, that gave her probably a safe place to ask questions, also a safe place to quarrel or to let out, different thoughts, which is all necessary, right?
I guess just now we heard his side of the story and my side. So we were kind of on the same path, but going in a very different way. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, we were both finding God, but in our own way. So when I was penning the lyrics for Rumble, I was thinking of, oh man, like, if our relationship doesn't go in that same path, will I still leave everything behind and follow God? So the first line is, darling, don't wait up for me, I'll be late, coming back home to you. I'm standing on a volcano. I feel a rumble under my toes. Because I grew up non-Christian, so I didn't really have an idea of who God was. So in my naivety, I thought of God as like a volcano. And his call was like a rumble under my toes. Like, that's all that I can describe it as, because I don't know anything better. Like, I don't know what people mean when they say, oh, God spoke to me, things like that. So for me, that was that sensation, and I felt like I need to go. I need to leave everything behind and go. And even though I'm already standing on the volcano, I throw my heart in, I don't see anything happen, which is like the whole point of like, we don't live by sight, we live by faith, right? But waiting for that promise of God to like erupt in a majestic way was something that really tested my faith. Like, do I dare to trust God will make all things new? So maybe a bit of backstory. I come from a family that is a little bit, was a little bit dysfunctional at the start. So my dad had bipolar disorder. And so life in my childhood was always very up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like a roller coaster ride that you cannot get off. So during that whole faith journey, I prayed for God to heal my dad. And sometimes the mania will still come back, and I'll be like, God, but you're the healer, right? You are supposed, if you just say it, it will happen. But it didn't happen according to what I wanted. But there's a good ending, because right now I would say my dad, he has gone through treatment, and he's so much, it's really night and day. He himself found Christ as well.
Wow.
Actually, the Holy Spirit met him in his mania, and he went from being anti-Christ to I need to be baptized.
Wow. Oh, I've got like shivers down my back. Like, wow.
God works in wonderful ways, and sometimes it's really hard to trust Him when you do not see the real tangible things like healing. Like, He can just be well overnight, but it's through that journey, and in the end, it all glorifies Him. So I think if any of you watching this is feeling that sensation of a rumble under your toes, that God is calling you to just be patient, to just come to Him, just go. It cannot be bad. God cannot do bad things. So
I love the imagery. I wish they had something like that in the Bible as well. Like, God is my volcano, but it's so powerful, because oftentimes the shaking puts you in a place of vulnerability, right? Like, your safety, your securities are being shaken, but all for like a better purpose, that He can be our ultimate security. Man, and the story about your dad, wow. Like, he should be here. Like, he should sing this song with you. But just hearing that, really so awesome. And yeah, I guess like there's no better time right now than to hear you guys do this song. I mean, we are all so ready for this.
Darling, don't wait up for me, I'll be late coming back home to you. I'm standing on a volcano, I feel the rumble under my toes. But even if I leave now, my heart is stuck at the bottom of the crater. Don't know just how long more. Even if I stay now, my heart's no better than it was before. Would you leave the light on? 미안할지도 몰라. 사라질지도 몰라. 마치 어두운 것처럼 아무 의미 없이라는 거라면 No, I have to Darling, I'm trapped in a love that has no form. I trying to find the right words, but all I can muster is it's a rumble under my toes. I've been trying to find the right words, but all I can muster is it's a rumble under my toes. 피어날지도 몰라 사라질지도 몰라 아무 의미 없이 기다린 거라면 You know I have to stay He told me it's gonna be great.
Oh my goodness. It felt like you guys should do the song again. It was so beautiful. Oh my. It really felt as though like I was in a wide open space, and it felt like there was so much like vulnerability, and as well as like certainty that like this God is kind of real. I mean, I love that so much. And probably you should tell us a little bit about the Korean like lyrics that are going on in there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
whoa, how did that happen? You know.
So when we wrote Rumble Under My Toes, we did a demo, and then a few years back we had the opportunity to meet with a Korean artist. Her name is Purahanu, which means blue sky, and we loved her voice. And the moment we finished writing the song, we were like, this song will be perfect with her. And it was like a crazy idea for us to think like, hey, maybe we'll just go to Korea and write with her. And so that's what we did. So
Wow.
that was a crazy journey. We connected with her, and she was so gracious to us. She was like, yeah, let's do it. And despite the language barrier, God provided for us a translator, and she worked hours, like way beyond whatever we told her we were gonna, agree upon. She worked all the way, and God really provided for that trip for us. And it was just a wonderful memory, a wonderful moment, and thank God that we were able to do that.
It feels seamless, like how like both, like I guess like lyrics from two different, like she's writing the Korean lyrics,
parts,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it just like came together seamlessly. Yeah, it's so beautiful, man. So thank you, Ryan and Steph, for being on our Ember Session episode. We are so blown away and we love the song. So for those who are thinking, man, I want to put this song in my playlist, where can I find them? It is on Spotify, right?
Yeah, Spotify and Apple Music.
Spotify and Apple Music. All you need to do is to go to Spotify and find Hubba Bubbas, Hubba spacing Bubbas. And man, this is like a driving song, going to bed song, starting a late at night song. Man, it's beautiful. And may the Lord just really touch your heart. And yeah, we have come to the end of today's episode. And yeah, you might be wondering, okay, today's format is a little bit different. Where's that bigger group song session that we have seen in the past few episodes? And because of the current COVID restrictions, we are doing 2 people episode at this time. But stay tuned, because at the next episode, right here in the same space, we're having our next 2 guests. So stay tuned to find out who they are. Bye-bye.
Bye.